What's up, Devils? J-Dog back with another goddamn fucking video. And today's video, we're going to be finishing up the questions on the previous video that I did. And that video is the King Diamond, what the fuck is going on? I saw there's a few more questions in there that I can give some answers to. So this shouldn't take up today's entire video. So I'll finish these up, and I'll raw dog my way into the next goddamn video in line, which I don't even know what the fuck it is right now. So on this one, first question on the line left is from Count Z Dana Vicious. I remember you commented a few other times, blah, because that name's a little hard to pronounce. So hopefully I'm getting it right. If not, let me know. Question. My theory is that King Diamond wrote himself into a corner while composing the story for the new album. There was a confused announcement that the story would be split across two albums. You know, it's funny because I kind of somewhat had that opinion as well. Like maybe he'd run out of ideas, because I remember reading an interview a long time ago after he had his heart attack that the next album, which is still not out, the storyline was going to be somewhat based off of shit that he saw when he technically died on the operating table or whatever. So I don't know if he just didn't have enough to compose, or he forgot, or was I just like, I don't know. Like, but it's, for whatever reason, that kind of popped in my mind, and that might have something to do with it. But just the fact that they had one song already recorded, I mean, like, who the fuck has this, goes in, records one goddamn, granted, I know how the recording process works for the most part with a lot of these bands, especially the big boys, but I would assume, or so if anybody knows for sure, and my assumption is wrong, is when you go in a band the size of King Diamond, they go and record a song in its entirety, fucking top to bottom, and release it for an album, studio album. They're basically saying, hey, new album's coming out really soon. Theoretically, he would have at least already had that goddamn thing written. I would think even most of the other album partially recorded, if not fully recorded, but at the very least written. So it's kind of like, fuck you doing, dude? Just get in there, record it. Like, and then all the other bullshit on the label, I mean, it doesn't take that long. That's all I'm fucking saying. So I think if there's not an official answer that doesn't sound like bullshit fucking given, then we're not getting the truth, as we never do in this world, as we know, right? Question, what's your opinion on later era KD, Merciful Fate, Dead Again, and the Puppet Master are classics in my opinion. Grim regards. Yeah, I like every single Merciful Fate and King Diamond album. Obviously, some more than others. As a whole, I like Merciful Fate more than I do King Diamond. But I mean, there is King Diamond tracks I like more than Merciful Fate, etc. here and there. But as a whole, Merciful Fate is my favorite. Dead Again, actually, that's probably my favorite album from the '90s. Yeah, I absolutely love that album. Fucking The Crossroads, that's a great song. Sucking Your Blood, Banshee. I mean, every song on there's a fucking banger. Even the title track, Dead Again, which is really long, but kind of like, I guess they're trying to, in a sense, redo Satan's Fall, try to capture that. I mean, I liked it. Thought it was a great fucking song. Puppet Master, I do like, but Puppet Master and For God Your Soul and Abigail 2, The Revenge, are probably my least favorite King Diamond albums. What I dislike the most about Puppet Master, and especially For God Your Soul, is the female vocals, his wife singing. Not because I think she sucks or anything like that. It's just King Diamond always, like, on, for example, the album The Eye, which I'm a huge fan of The Eye, the little girl parts and shit like that, and the little witches and shit like that. He did the female vocals with his highs, and I thought it was cool. So, like, I think it's kind of just like, oh, I'm married now, let me throw my wife a bone type fucking shit. It's like, dude, she wasn't even born yet when you were writing this band. Fuck her. She doesn't get to put on the goddamn album. Maybe you have her write, I don't know, write something in the background, do some artwork or something. So I kind of didn't like that. Again, I didn't think her voice sucked or anything. I liked it when he did those parts for the characters. It sounded fucking cool. So the addition of another vocalist was unnecessary. Actually, that was when I first heard King Diamond when I think it was 13, 12, 13, something like that. Yeah, somewhere around that age. I thought that was cool, because actually before I knew anything about it, I initially thought it was like, is this the same guy singing? Is there like a female in the band too? In the highs, I didn't know anything, and I thought it was really cool that it was one person doing all the vocals. That stood out to me in my earliest years, and then when he's added another vocalist, I'm like, why? I was like, yeah, the other day were awesome the way you did it. So didn't care for that too much, and like there's a couple tracks that were kind of like like the song like So Sad. It's kind of like, I mean, it fits the storyline, but kind of like And then the Christmas song at the end, it's kind of like but it has some fucking bangers on there for sure, like Blood to Walk and shit, Magic. It has some really, really good songs. So, and then they kind of like with Abigail 2, The Revenge, I didn't think all the songs were super strong, but it has some really, really good standout songs as well. And then the same goes for God Your Soul. But as a whole, I do like every album. It's just those are the only 3 albums where they had songs where I'm kind of like, could have cut this song. I didn't like it. And then as far as Merciful Fate's catalog, the only song that I thought kind of could have cut this was Dead Time on Into the Unknown. And some of the kind of like the BS on the title track Into the Unknown, some of the like surfer parts and shit, I'm kind of like, this is kind of sucks. Would have cut a little bit of that. But as a whole, other than that, like all the Merciful Fate song on every album, I'm trying to think. Yeah, like on Time, 9. Yeah, I like every single song. So those would be my only kind of like the things I would have discarded. So pretty much 98% of both catalogs, I like literally everything. So, but I own every album and like every album as a whole. From Goatman, goddammit. As always, comments on every fucking video. Every time I hear the word amputator, I think about that SFU song. You don't like SFU, bravo? I can't help it. Any thoughts on the best imagery for a band? Is there a unique look that you like in particular? What on an album draws you towards it? I mean, yeah, I like. Doesn't have to be a specific thing, but just look goddamn fucking metal. So when you looked at like Possessed Seven Churches in the back, they look fucking metal. The guys at Magnus from Poland look fucking metal as fuck. Um, I liked how even kind of like exhumed on their 7 inches and shit like that, and around the gore metal era, even though there was no photos on gore metal. But I think there was in the back of the picture this though, where Matt was wearing bullet belts and shit, and they're bringing the guts and stuff like that, just metal. The band Morgal, they look fucking awesome as hell. So some black metal bands in general look really cool. The band Vargrov on the back of the second album, can't think of the singer's name, the guy that just does everything. He looks cool as fuck. I'm like, man, he looks fucking awesome. So shit like that. It doesn't have to be a set thing. Like you got to have these certain gauntlets. You got to be wearing an inverted cross necklace. There's not like a set thing, but it look fucking metal, look awesome, and look like kind of like have an appearance when you on the back of your records or any of your releases, and also on stage because you're it's supposed to be an artist. You're supposed to be a fucking entertainer. You're supposed to be a fucking put on a show. You know what I mean? Going up there with fucking blue jeans on and just a Cannibal Corpse shirt, it's like it's just fucking stupid. You just look like another fucking canoe in the crowd. This is dumb. Fucking do something that's kind of entertaining, and that's not hard to do. That's not a tall fucking order. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like Sadistic Intent, they don't go all out or whatever, but one of the Cortez brothers shit, is, black clothes, inverted cross necklace, they have some of the spikes and gauntlets, little things, but it's nothing like over the top. I mean, I like it when it's a little bit more elaborate than that, but at least they're doing something. And then you know what I mean? It's they're at least making some type of an attempt. So that just look goddamn fucking metal. Don't be wearing no fucking baseball hats, no goddamn sports jerseys, no baggy fucking pants. None of that fucking bullshit. That's beyond fucking annoying when I see that shit. Ricky Jones, J-Dog, when you had Glenn Benton sign Butchered at Birth, did he say anything else about the album? Not that I recall, just called Cannibal Fags. He says these guys are shit, and I think I said how they fags. He's like, they're shit talkers. I don't recall him saying how. Keep in mind, this was 2001, which is 21 years ago, so I don't remember verbatim. But he definitely called them fags, wrote fags on it, and he said because they're shit talkers. And yeah, I don't recall him commenting on the album, or I don't recall asking him like, "Hey, experience of doing that? Do you remember doing that? Did you like doing that? Why did they even ask you to do that? Like, were you just in the studio at the same time? Maybe you recorded Legion around the same time? I didn't ask, so at least I don't recall asking. That was my recollection of all he said on that. Oh, and he also said too, yeah, when he was signing all my stuff, because he was signing all my Deicide stuff, as well as the Cannibal Corpse Butcher to Birth for doing backing vocals. He the first thing he kind of said, he saw me, Eric, and Chase. We both had our collection of each of the same things, like all three of us had Serpents on Light, for example. All three of us had the first album, for example, the sign. You know what I mean? His comment was, "I'm not gonna see this shit up on eBay, am I?" I was just like, no. So that's the shit I remember him saying. From Life Eternal, if you had to make a 5-piece metal band comprised of your absolute least favorite musicians, who would they be and what would the band be called? Least favorite musicians. When people say least favorite too, I almost don't like answering that in this sense unless they clarify what they mean by that. Because when you say least favorite, is that bands that I can't stand? Like the fucking, as we all know, the Soulflies, the fucking Slipknots, the Tools, the Cold Chambers, the Mushroom Heads, all that shit. Is that what you mean by least favorites? Or are you meaning least favorites like something I do own, something I do enjoy, like maybe a fucking Iron Maiden, fucking, what's that, Somewhere in the Dark, whatever, what's that, Fear of the Dark. Like, I like that album, but it's one of my least favorite, least favorite, fucking, discs in the collection, It's not an often spin, but when you put it on, I'm like, I kind of like it, but it's definitely far at the fucking bottom. So what do you mean by least favorite? And then as far as members, I mean, oh fuck, I don't even know, man. Let's leave that for the Devils. You answer, Devils. Answer the question and put it in the comments, and maybe I can chime in on it then when I get to that video. Because not that I can think of. Ricky Jones as well. I think Ricky Jones commented on the one above. But what's up, Devils? Who are some good black metal guitarists? I've always been a fan of Infernus from Gorgoroth. Strictly guitars for black metal that I was always, intrigued by. I'm trying to think. I always like Lord Aramon. Not only just the music in general. I don't know if he was a standout guitarist for me. He's on every Dark Funeral album. He's basically his band in my mind. That's a cool image. I always liked how he looked on stage. To this day, he looks fucking cool. Looks fucking metal. Looks evil. Looks black metal. So yeah, there's There's another image for you. And as far as Gorgoroths in general, I'm not the biggest Gorgoroth fan. I like albums. The album Pentagram, I fucking love. I think that's a masterpiece. A lot of the albums in between are kind of hit and miss. And then one I also do thoroughly enjoy, definitely not as much as Pentagram, is Insipid Satan. I think I just really like the album. I really enjoy it. But they don't have a stinker in the catalog, but just some of it's just kind of like, as I said before, a lot of it's albums like the Instinctus album and stuff. It's like, it's background black metal for me. Nothing stinky, nothing great. Don't remember it to this day. I probably listened to that album 2 or 3 times in the shop. I was like, yeah, it's okay. So Vincent Flitcroft. Hey, Braba, speaking of Embalmer, do you know the status of their new album? Last I heard was it's almost all done. I think Paul just needs to do vocals. I think that's what I heard. Or maybe even did those. It just needs to be mastered. And then that was probably, I don't know, 3 to 6 months ago. That's when I heard that. And I wasn't told that directly. I kind of heard that secondhand. I remember who told me. Well, maybe I did hear that from Baxter. Maybe I asked him at a show. Yeah, somebody told me, but that was the last I heard. And then, but I was never handed a disc or anything. Now, unless he gave Chase or something a disc, and he just didn't tell me about it. But so I haven't actually heard it yet. But then the rest would be on us, lay out. Well, unless he wants special art, if he wants Chris Moyne to do artwork again, or I don't know what his plan is for that. Usually Paul manages that. At least I assume it's Paul that does that on the top back end. And then whatever he decides, and then getting a layout done, and then CD would be pretty quick because CD turnaround times aren't bad. It seems like it's about 4 weeks to press a CD, like when everything's done on our end and submitted to the plant. But vinyl, they're fucking to this day they're still quoting 12 months. So fucking if we were to submit the vinyl tomorrow, it'd be a year from tomorrow. So vinyl's not coming out any goddamn time soon. So kind of stinks, huh? But I'm definitely looking very forward to hearing it. And what I do remember hearing is it was somebody other than Brian said that they did hear it. And maybe went to the rehearsal room, said it's fucking this shit sounds awesome. So I'm 99% sure that I'm gonna like it. So a couple questions here, but nothing worth commenting on. Joe Dinkins asking me how do I feel about corpse molestation. Oh, not the band though. I was gonna say I definitely answered that, and I know he watches every video. From Ish Heighton U666. Question, J Diggy. J Diggy Dog. Are you a fan of Obesians from Texas? The first album, it's been quite some time since I listened to it. What is their what's that for opening track? I thought was really good. My time. It's been a while since I listened to it. Remember liking the first album? Don't either I don't remember or I don't didn't even hear the rest of the stuff. Just never kind of crossed my mind. It's kind of one of those bands like what I heard, I remember liking, and I just never revisited. Just kind of always slipped through the cracks. But yeah, I would say. I mean, I like them. Definitely not the biggest fucking fan as far as air guitar and knowing all the songs and singing along with the choruses and shit like that. But yeah, I would say that they're a solid band for sure. So that's it for this one. We can do a little bit more questions here on this video. Let me bring the next one in line. Where the fuck is it? So we're on King Diamond. What the fuck's going on? Video. Shit, am I fucking behind? God damn. Yeah, next one in line. If could bring one musician back from the dead, who would it be? That was 3 goddamn weeks ago. Holy smokes. Now, I'm sure there's questions and shit. As you guys know, Lindsay was asking. I don't remember which video she jumped into, but I'm hoping she grabbed at least 1 or 2 videos where pretty much knocked out all the questions. That way I could kind of skip over those ones because, god damn, I'm fucking behind otherwise. Ain't never fucking run out of fucking material, huh? Unless there's no questions in any of these, presumably, which I've yet to run into that problem. So, Raw Dog as fuck. That's video, and it's got... that's... Man, this turd didn't even hit 1,000 views. God damn it. 818 in 3 weeks. That's terrible, devils. Get them fucking views up. Tell your fucking nanas and Grammys and fucking your bra-bras and sisters and everything. They'll start watching the goddamn videos. Maybe they'll learn something, get into some metal, and hear some real shit, right? Comments 134, though, which is pretty damn decent. Here we go. Curls and Twirls. Very first goddamn comment. Question. J-Dog, what's your opinion about bands continuing without any original members? Do you have any bands that you still like now don't have any members that played on their debuts? I ask because you just saw Malevolent Creation without Phil Fasciana, which seems a bit counterfeit. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not my preference, no original members. You know, it's funny because technically speaking, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm damn right, even including Scum, Napalm Death as a whole does not have any original members. I'm sorry, can we go back all the way to the demo and even like Scum, like what is it, the first half doesn't even have Shane. Like technically Shane's the most long-standing original member, and even he's not on that. If I'm overlooking something, yeah, is it like Napalm Death's literally not one original member, right? Which is, kind of weird, but whatever. As far as Love of Creation, yeah, I mean, I like the last album, 13th Beast, and that has Phil on it, so that does have an original member. All the rest, but like, yeah, as far as bands continuing without original members, other than Napalm Death, who's one that has no original members? I can't think of anybody else. There might be 1 or 2 out there otherwise, but I mean, most bands in general, almost everybody else has, I mean, at least some non-original members, right? I mean, every band, Cannibal Corpse, Deicide, Morbid Angel, Suffocation. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find one that doesn't. You know what I mean? Dark Funeral. I mean, Marduk for sure. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, how many singers has Marduk had? 5? I think it is 5 actually. It might even be more. Incantation. Whew, they've had more lineup changes than they changed their fucking underwear. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, who's a band that doesn't have any lineup changes? I mean, Macabre. Yeah, that's one that comes to my mind. They never have. Not many. That's for goddamn sure. So yeah, I obviously still do like bands when they change some of the members, but I hate it the most when they change vocalists. Generally speaking, if that's kind of what you're getting at. Again, I do like bands that change their vocalists, and I'm like, oh, this shit's good too. But that's the biggest fucking red flag before I hear it. How's this gonna be? Because it's the voice of the band. It's from it. You know what I mean? Guitar player. Let's face it. You kind of like replace it with anybody for the most part. I know there's some guitar wizard out there that's going to disagree, but at the same time, unless it's fucking like somebody that's really got a sound of their own or pulling solos that don't like, or like anybody, like maybe like Trey Azagoth on fucking Ultra Madness or something, it's kind of like you can find somebody that can that fits the bill. Bonus points if you know the goddamn reference. Where the fuck are you off, goddamn it? Yeah, question 12. Not too many. Here's a question. Layla Lover 90. Question. What do you think are some of the most creative band names? I always liked Disastrous Murmur, Gore Rotted, and Faith Extractor. Creative band names. None of those bands popped in my mind as far as that. Although I do like all 3 of those bands. There's 6 replies to that. What the fuck do people say in there? One guy said Lymphatic Phlegm, Cadaveric Incubator, and Squash Bowls sound so sick. Gothleys and others. How about Jumpin' Jesus from Germany? Yeah, I know who they are, except their stuff got reissued. I think on Vic Records as well. I'm like, Jumpin' Jesus? What the fuck? Early 90s death metal band? Prior to that reissue, I had never heard of them. Bands, to be honest with you, band names that I definitely do like that I thought Nunslaughter, the way Dom just described it, the reason they did that, I was like, yeah, that is a pretty cool fucking way of doing it, is because he wanted to take something good combined with something bad. So Nun, obviously, looked at as good, and then Slaughter, you know what I mean? And he said he got that idea from Morbid Angel, Angel, good, Morbid. I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. So I like that. Honestly, I love the name Cannibal Corpse. I really do. And then the way Alex Lepster defines it, when if you ask the average person, what does Cannibal Corpse mean? What is the definition of it? 99 times out of 100, they get it wrong. And I even call myself, I guess I wouldn't have known. I'm like, I don't know, corpse that's a cannibal. Like, it's like, and it's what Alex says in interviews. Like, he thought it was common sense. Flesh-eating zombie. He's a cannibal. He's a corpse. He's the corpse that eats flesh, human flesh. Flesh-eating zombie. Yeah, I think Cannibal Corpse is one of the coolest fucking band names ever, personally. As boring of an answer as that is, as I talk about them all the time, biggest death metal band, everybody's heard of them. Yeah, they're an Ace Ventura, et cetera, et cetera. I kind of think they have one of the coolest bands, but I do think Nunslaughter is one of the coolest names. Kind of those two. Those might be my two as far as names. I mean, I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. Deicide's a cool name, but it's not as cool because the average person doesn't know what the fuck it means. But once you know the meaning behind it, it's pretty goddamn cool. Drawing a blank. I mean, I do like band names with real simplistic shit too, like hemorrhage, exhumed, impaled, suffocation, kind of like the brutal shit. That autopsy, obituary. Those are fitting for death metal. I do like that's the names you should have, not fucking job for a cowboy. That's the kind of shit I do prefer. But I don't know. Yeah, Cannibal Corpse and Unsaw. Those might be the two best band names in my opinion. In fact, that'll be title of this video or something. Best band names out there. Goddamn, it might be those two. First two that come to my mind. And to be honest, never really fucking actually thought about it. Life Eternal. I think I asked this. How do you choose what to listen to? Do you go through moods? Kind of moods. If I'm just really in the mood for something, then I'll pick that. But a lot of times I kind of go through what do I, in a sense, my duty. What do I need to listen to? Like, what am I not super familiar with, or I am familiar with, but I haven't listened in a few years, so it deserves the honor of a respin. as cheesy as that sounds. God damn it! Lost my fucking place. Ah, here we go. From Joe Deakins, question: have you listened to the new Church of Disgust? The CDs just came in, and yes, I did listen to it, and yes, I did like it. Also, Fred Durst wants to know if you do it all for the nookie. I'm not quite sure what the fuck that means. I have use my imagination a little bit, but I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. And I might do one more quickie because we're at 23 goddamn minutes. Uh, Answer this question a lot, but it'll be quick because guys, I've said it a million times. Spell of Destruction. Hey, J Dog, I'm wondering what some of your favorite horror movies are. Are you a big fan of the genre? So as a whole, I'm a horror movie poser. I don't really watch too many horror movies. Don't like too many horror movies. Fuck, these days, in the last 10 years, to be completely honest, I don't watch too many movies. Period. But I do like movies. What favorite ones? I like House. House for sure. Pretty much like all the Nightmare on Elm Streets. Pretty much all of them. I mean, that Wes Craven's New Nightmare, that was a fucking turd city. And Freddy's Dead, the last one, that was Cheeseball City. But even the cheesy ones, like the third and the fourth, I still like them. Probably because I seen them so young. I was like 5 years old. I like those. I like the first two Phantasm movies. I thought those were really good. I saw those way later, like when I was in my grown ass adult years. I was like, fuck, I want to go see those movies. And Lindsay and I went out and fucking bought them from Record Exchange, the first two. I was like, I thought those were really good. Really enjoyed them. I haven't seen the others, though. Just I have the DVDs of the first two. I like Texas Chainsaw Massacres. The first one's good. The original. The second one, it's I have it. It's okay. The third and the fourth one, I remember them being pretty good, as much as people like to rip on those. I liked the two remakes, the very first Texas Chainsaw remake and Texas Chainsaw in the beginning. I liked that. I liked the movie 30 Days a Night that came out. I don't know. I saw that in the theater maybe, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago, when the fuck that came out. I thought that was a good horror movie. Sure, yeah, that's Hollywood shit, J-Dog. I'm just telling you what the fuck I like. And I said I'm a horror movie poser. I don't, all this B-rated crap where guys running around with a camera and shit. I don't know any of that crap, guys, nor do I have any interest. That was never my wheelhouse. So all the horror fiends, because I have a few friends that are some. I tell them, yeah, dude, I don't even know. I never heard any of this shit. There's others. I mean, like Halloween and shit. It's cool. It's not my favorite. That's like Reaper's thing. He likes it a lot, but it was cool. Um, Drawing a blank. There's others for sure. Something a little bit. I mean, I like the first Scream. I thought like that. The rest pretty much suck shit. But I just did enjoy the first movie. So yeah, those are the ones coming to my mind. But yeah, not I don't in general. Like I said, I don't watch too many movies in general. So you know. So that does it for this one, Devils. Comments, questions, sirs, leave them in the goddamn comment section, and I'll get them answered bright and early as always. See you in the next one, goddamn it. Later.